Hello. Hope everyone is doing awesome today. My name is Rachel Graham. I haven't made a video in a really long time, and I had made a post on Instagram a few days ago saying that I'd like to post a YouTube video and sort of update people on what's been going on, because I used to make videos quite a bit. Sorry, bear with me. The sun's gonna keep doing that and I'm gonna have to refocus the camera. So I was making videos quite often when I was doing keto and drinking exogenous ketones. And I just kind of dropped off the face of the planet when it came to making YouTube videos. And I just sort of wanted to briefly recap. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail just because, I just sort of started doing that, and it's not like I had a massive following, and I'm not trying to underestimate the amount of people that were watching it, but I just want to start now and, not worry about what happened in the past. But I do feel that I need to sort of recap a little bit. So basically, I had started using exogenous ketones in March of 2018. So a couple years ago now, which is totally bananas that it's like been that long. So I started using them, and you can watch, my old videos on Rachel Graham Wellness on YouTube to see just, my experience with exogenous ketones. So I did have a super good experience, and I ended up joining as a promoter and joining the company Prove It, because I love the product so much and it just made sense. It's like I've been talking about it nonstop and I'm using it and I'm loving it, so people would naturally ask me about the product, and I wanted to give people the opportunity to be able to get it from me, basically. And it's like, why hold on to that and not share it with other people? So I did. My husband was on board. We were both drinking ketones every day, working out, eating a ketogenic diet in combination with drinking the ketones to kind of optimize the ketogenic experience. And some life stuff happened. And we inevitably made the decision to stop drinking ketones. So we had done it for about 7 months, had amazing results. Just like energy levels were through the roof. My anxiety completely went away. I used to take like an hour to an hour and a half to fall asleep every night, and it had been like that for my whole life. And when I started drinking ketones, and I was like, prior to using exogenous ketones and doing the keto diet, I was working out and eating healthy, and I still had problems falling asleep. So it wasn't like I went from like the standard American diet directly to exogenous ketones and then was like, oh my God, this is life-changing. I had done a lot of other things years leading up to this. Tried all sorts of different lifestyles, and really found that keto really worked for my body, and just it was naturally the foods that I enjoyed eating. And it eliminated the need for me to like count calories or count anything really. I counted macros at first just to get like, a general understanding of like how many carbohydrates this particular thing has. But then really once you get the sort of gist of it, you don't even need to use an app like Carb Counter, but that is a really good app. So basically, I have some notes here that I'm referencing just because I don't want this to go on super long. But basically, when I was doing keto also, this period of time, so it was about 7 months, and drinking the ketones, I also wasn't drinking. So all of those things, I was working out, it was awesome. And for whatever reason, we felt like in order to sort of cut costs, we should cut out the ketones because it was the only thing we could really remove. We had our cars and cell phones and things like that we actually couldn't just stop paying for. And this was the only sort of non-fixed cost. And looking back, I really should have considered it a fixed cost because it was an investment in my health and myself, and contributed to my like general well-being. But that's hindsight is 2020, right? So in any event, quit using ketones. I thought that I could do the keto diet on my own, and I did for like a couple of weeks, and then I kind of had a little slip here, a little slip there, and then before I knew it, I was right back to eating a lot of carbs and a lot of sugars. And the biggest thing that happened was, instead of eating a lot of carbs and a lot of sugars and not a lot of fats, I was still eating ketogenic level fats, guys. It was fucking crazy. Like, so I was eating high fat, high carb, high sugar. You can only imagine what happened. The 30 pounds that I had lost came right back on. I started drinking alcohol again. Can you believe it? Like, and I was feeling so good. Like, I for sure thought that I was done because I had struggled with alcohol. This is something you can watch, you know, if you have an interest. And so I really thought that I was done. I thought that I was done for sure. And it's really interesting how things like that can kind of sneak back up on you. You think you can just have one or two, all of a sudden you're drinking every night again. So that's where I was. I was back to a heavier weight. I was back to drinking every day and not working out and basically feeling absolutely miserable. And my sleep went back to being really bad. Couldn't fall asleep. I was kind of saying, and then I think I got off track, that when I was drinking ketones, I could fall asleep. Like, I would be waking up in the morning before I knew it. And so, like, it really, really helped me with falling asleep quickly and staying asleep. Just such a huge amount of benefits. And so that's why it's, like, crazy to me that I stopped doing it. But that's, I mean, it is what it is, right? So, basically, had a really hard time. Decided to go back to school for nursing because I was struggling with just making the careers that I had picked work. It just wasn't really working for my lifestyle. It wasn't really working for the person that I had evolved to be. And I wanted to try something, I don't know, I had always been interested in nursing and decided to go back. So I went back to school, January 2019. I was working at a job I didn't like. Started my prerequisites. I had a long road ahead of me because I had a lot of science and math classes because I went to school for graphic design and cosmetology. So I didn't need any of that. And in high school, I didn't do any math. So this was like a huge challenge for me. And so basically here I am now, 2020. I'm in my last semester of prerequisites. So I've done 3. I have 2 classes left. And I'm so excited to be done. All I can say, oh my God, I'm not going to go into details about the experience. It's been good, but it's also been very difficult to balance work, school, and just life. You know what I mean? And I had 2 jobs for most of it and taking 3 classes, and it's just a lot, right? Like for anybody. So that's kind of the recap. Which brings us to the present day. It's already at 8 minutes. So crazy. But I'm going to be really fast now. So basically, I stopped drinking again. September 13th, 2019. Got to a point where I was like, all right, I'm drinking tequilas every day. I had a night where I went really hard and felt the most hungover I've ever felt in my life. Well, not in my life, but it reminded me of me like 4 years prior. And I thought I had conquered that demon. I thought that I could just have 2 to 3 drinks and be okay. And that night, for whatever reason, I went all in and I was just like on a mission to get fucked up. And I did. And the next day I cried. I felt so sick. Just like the worst headache of my life. And like the amount of like anxiety and just like self-loathing that I felt was so extreme. And I just knew, like, okay, you do not have control over this. Even if you do for 6 months, 12 months even, 2 years. Like, if you have that type of personality, eventually you will wind up where you started with it. And I believe that to be true. Now, this is like the 3rd time I've quit drinking. And I can see why it takes people a really long time to quit. Like, people relapse quite frequently when they're trying to quit something. So, September 13th was the last day that I drank. Well, I drank on the 12th. So, there's that. And kind of the main purpose of this video is really to say I'm getting back on YouTube. And this time I'm not going to quit. I've really done a lot of self-reflection and realized that my biggest issue is consistency. And this is another thing that I thought I had control over, that I thought I had conquered. But you can't rest on your laurels. Like, you can't just get to a certain point and then everything is just Gucci from there and coasts. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way with like weight gain. It doesn't work that way with nutrition. It doesn't work that way with finances. It doesn't work that way. Well, maybe it does if you get to like a crazy point and then you don't have to work anymore. You can just live off your money. But you get what I'm saying. Consistency is everything. And I knew that, like, and I was practicing it. But I think I just got to a point of, you know, comfortability where I felt like, you know, I could kind of ease up a bit, and I couldn't. So that's the lesson learned. And so I'm getting back on YouTube, and I am going to be talking about keto again. And yeah, I haven't done keto. I've tried off and on since I stopped, basically, and found it really difficult, and just like was wondering, like, where did my motivation go? Like, I just like don't get who this person is, like. But it was like, this is the old person that I was, that struggled to commit to something, and I don't want to be that person. Like, I've committed to school, I've committed to work. Why can't I commit to eating in a certain way, and being diligent about my workouts again? Like, what happened? But instead of like spending all this time like over analyzing what happened and what went wrong, I think the moral of the story is you just have to start today. Like, just start today. It doesn't matter why. Definitely take stock, but don't spend months agonizing over it. And that's kind of what I was doing, and it wasn't helpful to me. It wasn't helping me move forward, to, you know, sort of linger in the past like that. So I started keto officially on Monday. Today's Tuesday, so it's very fresh. And the big difference this time, so January 2020, my goal was to start keto and get back on exogenous ketones. Super pumped about it. Sean and I had purchased, they have this like 10-day experience that you can get on the website now, but you get 20 packages instead of 10. So you do 2 a day, and we purchased it around Christmas. We each got a box, and we were planning to start January 1st, and we were just going to both start over. And I got pregnant. So January 2nd, I took a pregnancy test, and I was pregnant. So I am currently 14 weeks and 2 days pregnant. And for the first trimester, I could not eat keto because my body did not want meat or cheese or full-fat dairy of any kind. I barely could get down like vegetables, and I wasn't even that sick, you guys. I honestly didn't even vomit once. I didn't have that at all. I was nauseated, but I'd literally only be nauseated in the afternoon and the evenings. So I didn't even have like true morning sickness, right? So all I wanted was bagels and cream cheese, saltines, chicken noodle soup, poached eggs and toast, pancakes, scrambled eggs. There's a whole list of things. And I'm going to make another video on my first trimester and just tell you guys all about it. And because I've been, honestly, the first thing I did when I found out I was pregnant was I like YouTubed like symptoms, or before I knew I was pregnant. And there's a ton of people making videos about pregnancy, which is so awesome. And I want to be one of them now. So here we are. So I am going to be talking about pregnancy and low carb lifestyle. There's a lot of controversy about keto and pregnancy. I really wanted to do a low carb keto diet during the whole pregnancy, but like I said, because of my food aversions, I just couldn't. And there's a lot of conflicting information out there. So I, for the first trimester, thought that's fine. I'm just gonna follow my body's cues and eat what I feel that I want to eat. And then in the second trimester, hopefully, if I feel better, I can transition into a lower carb situation, because I've watched a ton of videos and done a lot of research, and keto is actually just fine. So You know, there's, like I said, there's a ton of information out there, and I've made my decision, my personal decision to go back to it. So for those of you that are interested in, you know, the journey from here, I will be posting another video, like I said, about the first trimester. And then going forward, the goal is 1 video a week. I might do more, but it's definitely going to be 1 video a week on, you know, what I'm eating, the nutrition side of things, and then, of course, the pregnancy situation. So lots to talk about in that arena, and I want to be a resource for people literally as I go through it. So this is my first pregnancy. I'm 34, so I feel like there isn't like a huge amount of like YouTubers out there that I could find that do the keto diet and are late, you know, mid to late 30s and pregnant. So if you're one of them, or you want to get pregnant and you're in your 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, whatever, considered geriatric age, and you're interested in trying keto while you're pregnant, I'm going to be talking about it as I go through it. So I'm no expert, but I've done it before as a non-pregnant person, and I ordered my box of ketones, so they're going to arrive any day now, and that will help me, you know, with the cravings and transitioning back. So yeah, that's all I got. I think I hit on all the points that I wanted to hit on. Also, I've been working out, you know, 3 days a week plus is the goal, and what I seem to be able to consistently do. I got a membership at this place that has like a bunch of classes, and that's been way better for me than just going to the gym and working out on my own, which has been more difficult. So I think just like meeting myself halfway, it's like, okay, like I'm clearly not able to do this right now. You know, I'm not able to motivate myself to go into the gym and just like do weights. But going to a class is so awesome. It's really, really awesome. And I used to do hot yoga. And I've been to the gym in the past. My glasses look crooked all of a sudden. Were they crooked the whole time? I hope not. But yeah, so I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about this new chapter. I'm feeling really awesome. 14 weeks. It's pretty crazy. I never thought that, I don't know. That's a whole other video conversation about the pregnancy. But this one is just as a sort of like, what's up? I've been offline for a long time, but I'm getting back online, and I'm getting back online too because it really makes me happy. It really makes me happy to share with you guys, and because I know how much value I get out of YouTube. I really get a lot of value out of it, and I don't know, I feel like I love to connect this way. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was really long. I didn't mean to make it this long. I might edit it and cut some stuff out, but I never usually edit videos because I like them just to be raw, you know. Anyways, have an awesome day, and make sure to check back for the next video. All right, bye.